Hey, sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Other than picking up a few cards that I need for my 1978 top set, it's been about a month since I picked up a card toward any of my vintage projects. It's not that I haven't found any cards that I would like to buy. It's just that I've had some things come up that have taken away some of my hobby budget, and I had to put that toward something else. It occasionally happens, but I did manage to pick up another card off of my 100 cards for $10,000 list, and I really like this card, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show off my latest pickup. Okay, card number 43 is this 1971 Topps Jim Palmer. Really love this card, love the centering on it. Of course, with these 71s, you tend to get chipping on that black border, but that is pretty clean as well. Nice corners overall, just a great looking copy. Here is the back of the card. You can see there's a little bit there on the corners, which is typical for a card that I pick up. Less concerned about corners than I am about centering. And of course, with these 71s, I want very little chipping that you can see. And overall, I think this is a great example of his 71 Topps card. Now, of course, I have hidden the number grade because I just wanted you to focus here on the card itself. But after you've taken a look here, want you to try to think and guess what the numerical grade of this card is. So I'll give you another look here at the back. Now, normally for vintage cards, even from a card from 1971, I am not opposed to a PSA 4. So you think this came in at a PSA 4? Maybe it's higher. Maybe it's a PSA 5 or even a PSA 6 possibly. Well, the numerical grade is a PSA 5. So again, very happy with this card here. So before I get into the numbers, the other thing that I'm really happy about picking up the 71 Jim Palmer is that now that completes all his 1970s cards that I need for his run. I do have his rookie card, so I'm missing his 67 and 68, and then I'm missing his final four cards, his 81, 82, 83, and 84. And then I will have completed the Jim Palmer Topps Playing Days run. So what I thought I would do, again, before I get into the numbers here behind this purchase, is show off the other cards that I have of his from the 1970s. So we'll set this aside for now. In fact, I will forgot to put this up here. We'll get the handy stand here, courtesy of my good friend Don of Don's Field of Dreams. All right, here is his 1970. Nice example there of, it's somewhat posed pitching stance, but nice card nonetheless. His 72, which looks a lot like it's not the same picture, but man, maybe you could have told him to maybe pick a different follow-through stance or something. Looks very familiar, but not, at least it's not the exact same image. But there's his 72. Then we start getting into a little bit more action shots. His really nice 1973 right there. Here's his 74, another great shot of his pitching motion. If you saw him play, or if you see video of him pitching, he really had a straight up and down throwing motion. He wasn't off to the side or anything like that. It was almost like always just straight top to bottom was his pitching style. And that's a great example there of at least the beginning of his pitch there. So that's a 74. 75, they just go back to just a portrait picture there, but love the Orioles logo there on his cap. On to his 76, and again, you can see a little bit better here of that pitching motion, where he really like leans back a little bit and then just goes straight, like 12-6 was most of his pitches, but of course was able to throw various pitches, type of pitches from that motion. So there's his 76. 77, again, a nice action shot there of him pitching. Then we go back to a more portrait shot with the 1978 and that American League All-Star shield there that I love on the 78s. And then the last one, sort of an in-between, sort of a posed pitching stance, but it's part of a game. So he's getting ready to throw his pitch there, but it's just one that you have right before he is ready to throw, has that AL All-Star logo there. I got a little friend here joining me. Got a little bug on the card. Get him off there. All right, but there's his 79. And so that completes the cards from the 1970s. All right, so we will bring back his 1971 here. And let's get into, like I do with all of these videos, into the numbers behind my purchase. So on my list of 100 cards for $10,000, I had this 71 Topps Jim Palmer listed in a PSA 7, figuring that I'd have to spend about $100 to pick up a PSA 7. Obviously, when you start getting into 7s and above in the 71 set, you are talking about higher prices because of the condition sensitivity of the set. But of course, I picked up a PSA 5. So all in with shipping and tax for this PSA 5, I spent, rounding up, $45. So I was to the good $55 versus what I had this card listed on that 100 cards for $10,000 list at a PSA 7 for $100. So always love it when I come in under what I had a card initially listed on that list. So how did I do with this particular copy, this PSA 5 copy, versus other PSA 5s that have recently sold? Well, according to VCP's database, and I can't believe, I double checked it, and it is a sold listing on eBay. It looks like it's the most recent or the last sale on eBay for a 71 Palmer and a PSA 5. I couldn't believe it, but it sold for about $8, and it was an auction. I looked at the card. It was fairly well centered. Didn't look like a bad card to me, but it only went for $8, and that was before shipping and tax. Okay, so that's on the low end. Someone got a really good deal on that PSA 5. On average, a PSA 5 has been going for $28, and on the high end, $43. Now that's $43 before shipping and tax. For this one here, the auction itself I won it for, I believe, $35. And then it was like $5 shipping. And then you had tax for Pennsylvania. And I was around, 40, $43, $44, something like that. I rounded up to $5 to $45. So I did buy on the high end of recent PSA 5 sales, but I think I got a very well centered, very little chipping. Corners seem nice as well. Sharp registration. Back is nice as well. So again, I'm looking at these cards, and I'm willing to pay. Again, we're not talking about big bucks here. Big difference, between some of these averages and the highs. I've come to the point now. I'm not going to dicker over like $5, things like that. I love the look of this card. It was an auction, so I put in an aggressive bid, and I got pushed up, toward the high end of the comps. But I'm okay with that, because I got a card with great eye appeal, in my opinion. So for the 43 cards now that I've picked up off of my 100 card list, I thought I would have to spend $4,040 based on the grade and the price at that grade that I thought I would have to spend. To date, for those 43 cards, I have spent $2,165, so I am to the good $1,875. So not quite half of what I thought I would have to spend. I think I forget what the percentage is. But I'm still doing very well in my overall goal of not only picking up all 100 cards, but picking them up for as little as possible than the $10,000 that I had set out that I would need to spend for those 100 cards. So we'd love to know what you think about the 71 Topps Jim Palmer here that I picked up in a PSA 5, but I'm just going to get that number grade out of view here and just show off the beauty of this example here. Would love to know what you think. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.